The White Flower Garden is similar to the Hole of Beasts. Both caves have the same number of sub-levels, and both caves have a simple boss at the end. As such, it also has a 1 out of 5 difficulty ranking. The main difference between this cave and the last is there's a special surprise waiting for us on the 3rd sub-level. Prima Guides recommends you enter the White Flower Garden with 50 reds and 20 purples, but once again, I recommend you take all the purples you have and fill the rest of the squadron with reds. Cave number 2 in day 3 and the 3rd cave overall. Welcome to the White Flower Garden. I'm a lot more excited to go through this cave than I was the Hole of Beasts, because there will be a special surprise waiting for us midway through the cave. But just like the Hole of Beasts, the only threat on sublevel 1 are the many sheer grubs. And, just like the Hole of Beasts, there is only one treasure to be found here. And, just like the Hole of Beasts, you see where I'm getting at? There are 5 sublevels and a relatively simple boss at the end. Alright, with all of the sheer grubs dealt with, there's absolutely nothing over here. But it does bring up an interesting point. This is the first metallic sublevel that we have explored, and you'll want to be careful not to accidentally throw your Pikmin off the edge, because if that happens, they will die. I know, big shocker, am I right? Anywho, let's bring this shoe polish lid back to base, and we'll stand near the hole because once the treasure's been collected, there will be nothing left for us to do here. And yeah, that is quite a drop. I can only imagine how terrified the Pikmin would feel if we accidentally threw them over. But that's not going to happen. What is going to happen is that our Poco count will increase, thanks to this. This is the Alien Billboard, and honestly, I would have expected it to be worth more than 80 Pocos. That's kind of a ripoff. Alright, we are done up here. So, let us progress and head down into the further recesses of the White Flower Garden. I'm trying to sound mysterious and yet I'm utterly failing. I don't know why I even bother. Anywho, White Flower Garden, sub-level 2. And it is here where we will reunite with some old friends from the first game. What could I be talking about? Well, you're about to find out. So let's go ahead and start things off by dismissing the squadron. And you know what? Olimar was the main force in the Hole of Beasts. Let's let Louie have some fun, because Louie is freaking awesome. We're going to take the reds with us, and we are going to find a treasure right off the bat. By the way, notice how the needle in the treasure gauge moves to the right? Yeah, that's because we're near a treasure. But that's not the only thing to be found here. Hello! How are you doing? This is a fiery blowhog. Fiery blowhogs breathe fire, as their name implies, and I'll explain more about that later. For now, we have the Drought Ender, and I could really go for a Dr. Pepper right now. I don't know about you guys. Okay, there we have it. Fiery blowhogs are much easier to deal with in this game than they were in the first because, once again, they have less HP. You'll want to be sure to use the reds to take on the fiery blowhog because you don't want your Pikmin catching fire. If that happens, you have to whistle them back to your side. Once you whistle them, they will put out the flames. Alright, we're almost done. All we have to do is bring back this lovely Hearthstone. And I'm not talking about the card game, mind you. And I couldn't be talking about it because I think it's pronounced Hearthstone. Or is it Hearthstone? I don't know. I've always wanted to learn how to play it, and I have no idea how to. I used to be quite the trading card game guy, because I played Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, the whole kit and caboodle. And honestly, the hobby just got so expensive that I kind of fell out of it. Here we go. This is the Petrified Heart. And it looks like we are all done up here. Now, the question is, where the heck is the hole to the next sublevel? Oh, right, of course, because I parked in front of it when I was still controlling Olimar. Wow, I really need to start paying attention. Okay, let's just go down the darn hole already. Make up your own joke here. Okay, I can't believe I just said that. But that's not important. What is important is White Flower Garden, Sublevel 3. This sublevel contains the special surprise I was talking about, because we're going to discover the cave's namesake, and it is going to be glorious! By the way, glow stems, yet another plant to be encountered underground. So when we take this path... Ooh, this looks familiar. Some candy pop buds. But these ones are white. That's because they're ivory candy pop buds. How can a flower so deep underground bloom so robustly? How mysterious. This place is conspicuously warm. Could it act as a kind of hothouse for foliage? What an interesting development. The Pikmin look as if they long to be tossed into the flower. Oh, they want to be tossed into the flower, do they? Well, I'm happy to oblige. No, I don't want you tossed in there because you're valuable. We've got plenty of reds. So let's throw some red Pikmin into these flowers, shall we? The ivory candy pop bud is white in color, and that means some white seeds will appear. Take a look. Incredible! A white Pikmin. It is tiny, but looks distinctly swift. Its eyes are an unseemly red. This type of Pikmin was not mentioned in your report, in your notes, Olimar. It must be an entirely new type. Our data record on this type is a blank page, since a certain captain never documented them. You must experiment and make detailed observations for the benefit of future generations. Oh boy! I have been waiting to talk about these guys. White Pikmin are easily my favorite Pikmin in the entire game, and that is because they have several tricks up their sleeves. They are the smallest and the fastest Pikmin in the game. Even a white leaf Pikmin is just as fast as a flowered red Pikmin. Not only that, but they also have some talents, shall we say. Talents we're about to discover very soon. But first, let's flower some of these guys up. And wow, that was absolutely pathetic. I didn't even get everyone flowered up, but that's not important. What is important is the treasure gauge. You will notice that it is reacting, but there is no treasure in front of us. That is until the whites get to work. Amazing! The white Pikmin have unearthed a treasure that was completely buried in the ground. Perhaps those beady red eyes of theirs allow them to sense objects buried in the dirt. Yes! White Pikmin can locate and dig up treasures that are completely submerged underground. This makes them an absolute must for cave exploration. Not only that, but they can carry treasure back faster than any other color, and this makes them excellent worker bees. Their strength is about the same as a regular Pikmin, but their abilities in salvaging and exploration more than make up for it. But believe it or not, those aren't the only abilities that white Pikmin have. Alright, we've got another treasure, and this one is the Super Stick Textile. Only worth 80 Pokos again. And once more, you would think that something that big would be more valuable. But quantity doesn't equal quality, as they always say. Alright, let's see if we can get all these guys flowered up. Or at the very least, most of them. Okay, a good number of them became flowers. That's not bad. Anywho, march onward, soldiers! Onward and downward! Here we go. We're almost at the home stretch. And as soon as our game saves, we are going to explore the White Flower Garden, as we've always done. But this is sub-level 4. And we have a new gimmick to talk about. Do you see it? It would be kind of hard not to see it because it's constantly emitting gas. Gas pipes! Gas pipes continuously emit poisonous gas which can suffocate your Pikmin. All Pikmin except white Pikmin, that is. Aside from being able to salvage underground treasures, white Pikmin are also immune to poison. As if we couldn't love these guys enough. However, would you believe if I said that is not the only talent they have? They have one other ability that we may or may not get to see in the project. Aside from being immune to poison, white Pikmin themselves are also poisonous. When an enemy consumes them, they will get poisoned and lose a substantial amount of health. Generally, it's not recommended to do this too much as, like purple Pikmin, white Pikmin can only be found underground, making them much rarer than the other colors of Pikmin. But it is still an ability worth noting. And now that all of the gas pipes have been disabled, let's bring back some treasures. And take a look at how quickly they bring the treasures back. If you need to get a treasure out of a crowded area, whites are your best bet. White Pikmin are amazing. Plain and simple. I love them so much, and they're so adorable! How could you not grab a white Pikmin and squeeze it in a hug? Well, at the risk of getting poisoned, of course. Survival ointment. How appropriate. We are fighting for our survival in an unknown cave. And any day now, you guys can completely unearth the mushroom. That's fine. You can take your time, too. So let's go and switch to Olimar and see if we can... Oh, no, never mind. They already dug it out. Very good. Okay. I believe these are the only two treasures to be found on the sub-level. But we'll see. Wow, only 30 Pokos? What a ripoff. This is the Toxic Toadstool. And it's a mushroom, and it's poisonous. Might be a reference to the poison mushroom from the Mario series. I wouldn't put it past the developers. There are all sorts of references to Nintendo games in Pikmin 2. And I think the hole to the next sub-level is right... Yeah, it's right over here. We're almost done. We are so close to being done. We only have one sub-level left. Okay. To finish things off, we have the White Flower Garden, sub-level 5. Final floor! Here we go! Once again, I'm going to disband the squadron and only take the reds with me. I can afford to lose some reds. I couldn't afford to lose any purples or whites. As you can see, we're in the middle of a bird's nest. And what bird's nest wouldn't be complete without eggs? Alright, we've got some nectar drops here. And some more nectar. Good, I was worried the enemy I was talking about in the Hole of Beasts would appear. And that would have been disastrous. Alright, let's bring over the reds. And since this is a nest, what nest wouldn't be complete without a bird? Straight from the first Pikmin game, this is the Burrowing Snagret. The Burrowing Snagret is thankfully much easier to deal with in this game than it was in the first. It will emerge from the ground, and every now and then it'll get its head stuck. That is your chance to strike. Oh, it didn't happen there. Whoa, watch out, because it's gonna snatch up your Pikmin, and that would not be good. Thankfully, it's pretty easy to deal with overall if it would just cooperate. And you better get used to fighting these guys because we're going to encounter a lot of them in the game. Oh, come on, get your head stuck in the ground already. Oh, wait, how are you able to move your head so quickly? You're supposed to disappear underground after I walk directly behind you. Maybe you're smarter than other Snagrets, I don't know. Oh, jeez. Run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. The Burrowing Snagret actually has a lot more range than you think it does, so be sure that you keep yourself a safe distance from it when it emerges quickly. Ah, there you go! At long last, you decided to be cooperative. Come on, come on, come on, and down it goes! Well, that's very nice. The Pikmin are carrying the Snagret's head even though it's not appearing on screen. How's that for animation? It's like Pikmin World Peace. They're all holding hands. Anyway, well done, Captain Olimar. You've defeated that freakish half-bird, half-serpent hybrid. Oh no, don't tell me. That treasure was ingested by that beast, wasn't it? And what do you mean, well done, Captain Olimar? Louie did all the work. Snagret angry face. Louie gives a Snagret angry face for being the eternal understudy to Olimar. That's okay. I still love you, Louie. Alright, in any case, we've got a treasure to bring back. And let's just say I'm not particularly excited about this one. Don't get me wrong, it's still worth a pretty penny, but you'll find out what I mean. And it looks like all of our reds are flowered up, which is nice. So we're going to bring the squadron back to where the nectar is to flower the rest of the guys up. Anyways, our third treasure for the Explorer's Kit. This is the 5-man Napsack. Gotta say, really creative name. This material looks comfortable. I will use it to patch the boss's favorite sleeping bag. Seam test conclusive. Cross-stitching successful. The Napsack is complete. When you have an unoccupied time interval, press and hold the X button to take a nap. Yep, all you get to do is sleep. And that was an ability that was available to you from the start of the first Pikmin game. Why they made it unlockable, I don't know. But that's not my biggest problem. The Napsack is without question the most useless of the Explorer's Kit treasures. First of all, let's take a look at it so we never have to look at it again. Alright, so when you press and hold down the X button, you can take a nap. But if you're close to the Pikmin, they will start carrying you back to the onion or back to the ship's pod if you're underground. And you might be asking yourself, what happens if you are absorbed by the ship or the onion? Absolutely nothing! This is just a means to cover extra ground and get back to base more quickly. And in my opinion, the potential was missed, because they could have made it so that you recovered HP while you were sleeping, and it would make perfect sense to do so. Especially considering there is no way for you to recover HP in Pikmin 2. Why did they not implement this? It would have been a great idea and would have given some use to the Napsack. I have no idea. It just baffles me. It baffles me with a capital B. But I can complain about stuff later. For now, let's see how we did. 7 treasures collected, no Pikmin deaths. Once again, this spelunking adventure was a success. Alright, we are going to save. And if I can be quick enough, I might have the chance to enter the Awakening Wood again to get some more white Pikmin. Because when you exit a cave, sometimes the flowers that you used to... sometimes the candy pot buds will reappear. And I don't think I'll be able to make it to the Hole of Beasts, but I'll certainly give it a good try. I'm going to go ahead and walk over to the White Flower Garden, and I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, we have finished our day at the Awakening Wood, and I managed to get some more white Pikmin added to our roster. Yeah, it was pretty good, to be honest. No one died. We explored 2 caves. Not only that, we also managed to obtain 2 Explorer's Kit treasures, one of which was helpful, the other one, I'm sorry, I have no other words for it. Anywho, let's go ahead and take a look at today's report. We collected a grand total of 1,850 Pokos worth of treasure, bringing our total up to 2,782. Very nice indeed. Not only that, but we greatly increased our Pikmin population. And we even added whites to our roster. Very nice. And still no deaths, I might add. How's progress, Olimar? Remember, you'll never get anything done if you sit back and watch from afar. Be sure to hold the R button occasionally for a close-up view of the action. Maybe I will demonstrate that function in the future. But for now, I think we are done. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the Piclopedia, because I want to check out some entries. There is an entry... Louie's entry for the iridescent glint beetle is actually quite funny. This precious treat is exceptionally rare. I could sell it back at home for a fortune. Then I could use the cash to upgrade my kitchen, buy galactic class ingredients, and even star in my own cooking show, The Insect Gourmet. Ah, ambition. I also want to check out the cooking entry for the clover because it's actually quite funny. Mildly poisonous, may result in nausea, headache, fever, fatigue, chest pains, paralysis, loss of bone density, moodiness, feral rage, sauciness, dilly-dallying, strokes of brilliance, and untimely doom. That's pretty funny. Alright, now back to Olimar's notes of the Empress Bulblax. Empress Bulblax, Oculus Matriarcha, Grub Dog family. Initial observations placed doubt on the capability of the grub dog family to support a strong ant or bee-like social structure, but recent studies show the family is capable of such complexity. The egg sac of the largest female grub dog within a given range swells to dramatic proportions in response to environmental changes, such as the sudden depletion of prey species. These females temporarily take on the role of pack matriarch. Also, in pack formation, it has been observed that nearly all males not involved in species reproduction undergo natural sex changes. The characteristics of such specimens are quite intriguing indeed. And now let's take a look at the Burrowing Snagret. Burrowing Snagret, Chiropodys anacondae, Snavian family. The majority of Snagret species lie in wait to ambush and capture prey, with the body type perfectly adapted to such sudden strikes. It violently attacks small surface-dwelling insects. Distributed across a relatively wide range, subspecies of snagret suited to the varying soil conditions have emerged, making the snagret the most geographically represented species besides the bulborb. Visually resembling the burrowing snagret is the burrowing snarrow, the range of which partially overlaps with the snagret's range. While the two may appear similar, when pulled from the ground, they can be distinguished by the presence or absence of tail and wing markings. Fascinating stuff. Now let's check the treasure hoard. I'm going to take a look at the prototype detector. Today we searched a subterranean lair swarming with carnivorous bugs. The name Hole of Beasts immediately came to mind. The convenient contraption I found there has become an invaluable treasure-seeking tool. When it approaches a piece of treasure, the gadget beeps and the needle moves to the right. When all of the treasure in an area has been collected, the device powers down. When we left Hocotate, I thought we'd never be able to pay off the company's debt, but thanks to this gadget, I'm feeling optimistic about the outcome of this daring mission. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the Super Stick textile. I have once again discovered a completely undocumented species of Pikmin. These white Pikmin can find and dig up items that are buried entirely underground. We never would have found this priceless treasure without them. Thankfully, it's the perfect stuff to patch a hole I just noticed on the ship's hull. P.S. I named the cave where I first encountered the white Pikmin the White Flower Garden. Well, we collected a lot of treasure and did a lot on day 3. We're not going to do quite as much for day 4, but we will hopefully unlock a new area. So, see you guys next time.